Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm your host, TheOnetonhammer, and with me, my favorite two people in the whole wide world, Genty Maxey.
Hello.
And Terry DeMattis.
Hello.
Just for those people who are wondering why I sound like I'm half asleep, it's because I am half asleep. I woke up, it's funny, I woke up at 7 and it's 9 o'clock. You would think 2 hours would be enough, but the girlfriend is on assignment, so she's not here. And without her being here, I'm alone. So for the last 2 hours, I have not really talked until the pre-show backstage. So my voice is still not awake. The rest of me seems to be fine. But if I sound a little vocal fry, that's really what's going on. Anyway, hello to everybody in chat. I guess I should do that first. Cynic was first. Got to make that a point. Tier is here. Hello, Tier. OG Costin. I'm sure there are people. Oh, Keeverdam's here. Hello, Keeverdam. And Sir Adamantine. And scrolling. Okay, that's everybody for now. As usual, I'm sure we'll have people rolling in later. Terry, how you doing today?
Not bad. A bit achy, but I'll be fine. How about you?
I slept kind of weird, so I have some minor injuries, but I'm recovering. Jen, how you doing?
I'm in a weird state. Like I'm in happy place because Alberta has pretty much said fuck you to Ottawa in the most glorious of ways, but then Trudeau's just like, hey, we're gonna do a bunch of stupid shit. So he's actually done more than just the bill for C-11. Like that's just the scary shit. Like I don't know why his side is still okaying that, because that's the stuff that he promised not to do. Or at least he was gonna fix that kind of shit. But no, he's gonna do a lot of shit in there. But we could talk about that when it comes up. But he's also wanting to raise our carbon tax a stupid amount too. And I'm wondering where he thinks we're getting this money from, because people don't have money.
Not with
we haven't been working for the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's the way inflation is right now. There's no money out there. Let's quickly say hello to Mike R. and JB and Green Badger Outdoors have joined us in chat. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, I don't. Carbon tax is basically tax for existing.
It does absolutely nothing because it's a blank check. Like, don't get me wrong. If they were honest and they were like, we just want to funnel money from the richer people so we can give it back to the poor, I could understand that, but it doesn't work the way that they think they do. Because say somebody who actually makes a proper household income, not me, I'm low income, I barely make ends meet, but somebody who has a proper family, mom and dad work, say they're making $240,000 a year. That's quite a lot, actually, between two households. That's rare. But like, say they both work in oil. This is out here. This is two people with a decent job, right? Carbon tax is so much that they're probably paying about anywhere from $400 to $500, if not more, depending on your house, because it depends on your house. I've heard of people having $700 taxes a month based off of what they pay for their gas, which we live off of. Our infrastructure is completely different. So like we heat our homes with gas. We cool our homes with the same stuff. Like, they don't understand how we run. So it doesn't just hurt me. The people it hurts the worst are the people who barely make income. And that's usually our farmers.
Right.
You know, because
as they say, never forget you're the carbon they're trying to eliminate.
You know, it's also the people who are raising our taxes waste the most. Trudeau alone, let alone his party alone, it does more in damage to carbon than everybody else living in Canada put together alone.
No, but that's Prime Minister carbon. It doesn't count.
It's just more money funneling, because they keep borrowing money and then giving it away And then it's the same mentality of the people who are now probably going to have to come to terms with the fact that CERB is going to cost them money, and it is. But you know what? They raised our beer tax too, and I'm like,
What?
that doesn't affect me. Yeah, 6%.
Jeez.
I don't drink, but people who live in a country where cabin fever is a thing, this is the time of year where we at least get out for long enough to enjoy time with our family or our friends. We get a little bit loaded at this time of the year because that's what we do. We don't really go out and play because it's kind of crap out.
Mhm.
What you saw last year was probably, that was fun. I could see a lot of people enjoying that time. But you know what? They had heat tents everywhere. We don't go out in winter a lot. We plan
Just
for
come
that
to
shit,
Australia. It's summer here.
right? I'm not saying we don't play in the snow because we absolutely do, but we don't do it all the time for a reason.
I don't like snow. I have limited experience with it, and it's cold and it's wet. It's not fun. I don't know why people like it.
But it looks nice. I mean, you can
looks-
appreciate the aesthetics for it.
Not really.
There's a reason why you live in Australia, I'm sure.
No, but I'm just in general, I'm not one for scenery. Like people say, oh, it's so good to have a water view. It's like, okay, I mean, you can look at it if you want, but I won't. It's like, I know what water looks like. I don't need to sit on the balcony and look at it.
I don't mind snow as long as I don't have to drive in it. That's the only thing for me. So if I'm looking at my bay window and it's the light snow's coming down, everything's kind of frosted, it's pretty good. If I don't have to go anywhere tomorrow, I have no problems. But if it's snowing and I have to go somewhere, oh shit.
Well, yeah, like I was saying, like, so for Canada, like, I don't know what it's like in Russia. I don't know what it's like in other places with heavy snow. But for us, yeah, you tolerate the snow. You learn how to deal with it. You still go to work. There's no excuses for not going to work unless it's like something dangerous or stupid. But at the same time, though, you limit the amount of time that you spend outside past what you have to because it's cold. Once you're no longer a kid, snow is no longer fantastic. It's no longer magical after a certain point. It just isn't. So when I say cabin fever, I mean that. Like, Canadians kind of tend to cabin fever for a while because you spend as much time outside of the odd person who's maybe a smoker or something, or the person who walks a dog. Most of us stay inside for everything. We go into internalized pools, like we have hockey rinks that are inside.
You don't even need to have it inside.
We don't. It's just we like to have places where we can go and warm up. Our biggest complaint, I would say, not our biggest complaint, but mine, is these people who think that we're into global warming. And I'm like, I hate to break it to you, but I think the world is just doing the same thing it does all the time. Because England just had a snowfall. Not all of England. Like I talked to a buddy who's up north of England, northern England, and he said it was just a heavy frost. But southern England had snow. They were more excited than anything else because they're like, oh my God, it's snow. And I'm like, should I just bottle mine? I mean, sure, it just ends up as water, but I should just bottle mine.
How's the weather been for you? I mean, for Terry, I'm sure it's been pretty nice, but...
So I can't claim for all of Canada because I live in the weirdest place. But yesterday at 4:30 in the morning when I left for work, it was minus 19. By the time I went to bed at about 9:30 at night, it was plus 3. This morning, it went back down to minus 3. It's now minus 10. Jeez. My province is weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're getting it too because I'm in north state, north in the United States, northeast. So we're getting the cold weather too. I'm kind of envious of Terry right now.
You might even get the tips of that Chinook that I bring up all the time, because if you get that feeling of having your head being squeezed to a tooth, like a toothpaste tube. Yeah, that's Chinook.
Well,
it feels warm for a day or two, and you're like, oh, that's nice, but it kind of makes you feel like shit.
It's 22 here, so that would be like 6 Celsius or something close to that.
That is frozen. Well, not quite frozen, but it's exceedingly cold.
Yeah, anything under 32 for us is actually the freezing point of water. So 22,
Yeah.
it's a bit chill. It's okay. It's okay. It's Pennsylvania. It's Northeast Pennsylvania. I'm used to this kind of weather. It's not a big deal.
I thought you were talking in Celsius when you first said 22.
No.
That's reasonable.
No. I'm unfortunately American and afflicted with the imperial system. So our temperatures are not going to get any better. Our highs for the next 4 days are 36, 39, 35, and 33.
So I think it's interesting. We've got basically the same weather. It's just the numbers are the same. It's just different letters after it.
Yeah.
That's typical summer weather. 32, 30, 35. It's just in Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Well, out here, it really just means for packing for everything. Like I said yesterday, I was dressed up for minus 19.
Yeah.
By the time I left work, it was already minus 5. So I was already out to lunch. I had to take off half of what I brought with me. And, tomorrow I have no idea. I just keep everything on my couch. And if I don't need it, it doesn't go in the bag. If I do need it, I put it on. And then, yeah, because that's all you can do out here. I have an umbrella too. You never know. It has rained.
Yeah. With our temperatures, you have to pack for survivability too, because if you get out somewhere doing something and you get separated from your car or something like that, you can be in trouble pretty quick.
I'm just gonna say I'm making a note never to visit Keevadan. Apparently, minus 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Just no. That is not a place that I will ever go to.
It's just no.
No.
It's the coldest it's been up here in recent memory was 2 years ago, about this time. Actually, a little bit closer to Christmas. Actually, was minus 19. That's the coldest it's ever gotten here. So, yeah,
still too cold.
Yeah, our summers maybe 85 to 88 would be like the max. But the cool part is I have a house in Virginia, so if I really want to get warmed up, I can go down there because it'll hit 100 down there.
I don't like it to go below double digits in Celsius, so I don't know what 10 works out to in Fahrenheit. But
well, according to Cryptic, 22 that I'm getting right now is 6.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
10 would be cold.
Negative 6. Sorry.
10 is cold, but apparently it's 50 Fahrenheit. So 10 Celsius is 50 Fahrenheit. That's about as low as I'm willing to get. That's winter weather for me.
It's chilly, but it's not bad.
Yeah, that's almost reasonable for sleeping.
My house is a balmy 77 degrees, so I'm happy. As long as I don't have to go outside, I'm fine. But I'd rather be colder than hotter. How you guys deal with 110 degrees Fahrenheit, it's beyond me, man. I would never even attempt to leave the house. I don't care if I'm overflowing in trash. I'm not taking the trash down that kind of heat. No way.
When it gets that hot, yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah. But so we have a couple of things we can talk about for this show tonight. Just some suggestions. The first one, I'll just go through them real quick. First one is Wapo dies. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but over the last year, the Washington Post, which is probably the second biggest, at least on the East Coast, newspaper available, the New York Times being probably the biggest, has lost 500,000 subscribers over the last year, and they're now laying people off.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Anyway,
Maced from the topics is from Nancy Mace. She's a senator, a representative, something. I don't know what she is, but she was talking to Andrea Carbello, who is very active on Twitter.
I hate that one.
Have you seen that video?
I think I've seen it, but I've seen people talking about the issue.
we'll cover that in a little bit. I don't think we're going to get too deep. And then finally, we're going to chit chat about C-11. This is a modification of the C-10 bill on censorship for Canada.
I was hoping we're going back to talking about the weather. C-11 is like, 52 F.
52 F. The letter goes after the number. So yeah, those are the things we have to talk about. Do you guys have a preference on what you want to get into? We don't even have to talk about this stuff. This is just suggestions. So if you want to talk about the weather, we can do that.
Yeah, I was kidding.
I
No, I mean, I find the death of the Washington Post to be a
amusing.
Good sign, so.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Well,
I mean, I haven't looked into all of it because I know all I've pretty much seen on it is the stuff that Jeremy has done. So I had a heads up that it was happening, but I prefer to wait a little bit past that because he does everything. Okay, he's always doing something. I'm like, man, if you keep riding Elon's dick the way you are, it's gonna get shameless here.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
I think it would be funny to be like, oh, I'm gonna sub. You need a subscription, don't you? Oh, my finger's on the mouse. Oh no, I changed my mind.
But yeah, if you're ever curious about anything, or if you're just kind of like, oh, I need a heads up real quick, he's got you covered for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I did see the way that he asked Elon to be on his show, and that was a little sucky uppy. Like I've got a Tesla, and I paid for the Twitter Blue, and you should come on my show, please. That did come across as a bit desperate, but
I mean, I do appreciate his grift, but at the same time, though, I'm like, you were taking the piss out of Ethan Klein for that shit when he was doing it with Susan, right?
yeah, like if he just asked, if he said like, hey, we're doing a show, we would really love to have you on, that would be fine. But it was more the and I've got a Tesla, and I use your internet, and I use the Twitter too. It kind of came across as if he's like, no, I love you, please pay attention to me, which I wasn't a fan of.
So whether or not the HuffPo dies, I think that I'm not really sure because I think Hammer might be better off being back for that one because I can't remember if they're an affiliate of the Washington Post because I thought the Washington Post did own them.
Yeah, I'd say let them all die. I don't care.
But if it comes to what it looks like with everybody else, I could see them still existing, but they're going to be gutted.
No, like I said, death to all of them. I don't care. Just nuke the lot of them.
Yeah, if they still stand at the end of it after the gutting, I really couldn't say. But a lot of places are really doing that. Like, look at a lot of the big media corporations. It's not just the Washington Post. They've been going through a lot of places. Like, I
have no sympathy. I don't care.
No, me neither. Well, they were willing to silence, and they were willing to silence everybody else. And I don't necessarily agree with Fox. I don't. A lot of times I don't. But here's the thing. There should be more media outlets other than Fox, and you all shouldn't be bought by people. I mean, I understand you're owned by people. That I understand entirely. But the people working there should still be fucking journalists. Well,
yeah, no, I'm not a fan of the media. I would have no problem with Fox going as well. Get rid of them. Get rid of CNN, NBC, Washington Post, New York Times. I don't think they're doing anything of value. I think you can just get rid of a lot of them, and the world would just keep on ticking perfectly well. I don't think they serve any valuable purpose.
It's the dumbest hill to die on in the first place. Like, okay, I don't know if all these people were actually ghosted or shadow banned or whatever they claim to be. But the ones on Fox that were claiming it, I mean, like, in all honesty, out of all the people to ghost ban, they're the last ones I would worry about. You know, sometimes they have a point. Everybody has that moment where you agree with somebody on some points, but I still thought most of them were retards. Let them be retards in public.
Yeah.
That's the best way to get them to lose followers. But no, you're gonna ghost them, and now you give them a reason for people to follow them, because a lot of people do that. There's a huge following on the internet who does that.
If Alex Jones was allowed on Twitter, then I think most people would say, "Oh, this guy's kind of nuts. I'm just not going to pay attention to him. He's a bit of a fruitcake." But by banning him, you've got people going, "Well, he must be saying something they're scared of. I'm going to check him out."
Streisand effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you, Mash. It isn't journalism. It isn't. Journalism is opinion pieces by people who could just be posting their own opinions. Fair enough. But up here, I always question that, because you can tell when somebody's been bought. And politics and media, I understand that they mix, but they shouldn't. We're taught, at least up here, we were taught once upon a time to watch out for that kind of shit, because that leads to things like Nazism and communism. But I mean, it's okay when it's communism, though, just so you know.
No, I'm very big on let them speak, let them make fools of themselves, and then people can go, you know what? I thought Kanye was kind of cool, but after hearing his thoughts on things, I'm just going to avoid that whole. No, I don't like him. He's an idiot. And then, leave it at that.
It's the sunlight is the best disinfectant. I
As
think
they
that's
say.
Yeah. Well, Fox is not really the conservative stronghold a lot of people believe it to be, or
no, it's not.
Well, no, they're owned by a liberal.
Yeah, if you take away Hannity and Tucker, it's basically CNN.
Yeah, like the guy who owns it is like a super Democrat, isn't he? Or it was.
I have no idea.
Well, he was just recently got what was named Zucker. This is the guy who was in charge of CNN. He just got fired, right? They're firing everybody at CNN. They realize that Get Woke, Go Broke is a big problem too. So,
and they're infested with it. So, I mean,
I don't like going back to Elon Musk on this stuff all the time either, but I do want to know what's in those files. Like, I know it's going to take time to go through some of that shit, but I'd like a rundown on what the fuck is actually in that. And not just by somebody who's on the right, because that's just that makes me paranoid that they're making shit up too.
Right.
I'm waiting for somebody like Aviva Fry or Ricada Law to go through it. Not because I necessarily trust them, but because at least they'd be neutral about it.
Aren't they both Canadian?
I think Matt Taibbi was pretty even-handed. No. I don't think he is like openly biased in one direction.
Viva is I would say that he used to be somebody that would have been liberal, but I think that like a lot of people, he's been pushed too much to stay liberal. You know, he is conservative, but I wouldn't say he's somebody who started out like that. I would say his time between the internet and his time interacting with other liberals and realizing just how far cuckoo they've gone, I think that's what's pushed him more conservative. Because if you look at his views, he's really more centrist, which is why I appreciate, because sometimes he says stuff where I'm like, that sounds really liberal, but that's okay. I don't have anything against people having liberal thoughts. It's people who take that shit to the point where they can't even grasp that other people have other opinions. They've taken it so far that if you have another opinion, you're either cuckoo or you've never gone to school before. And you're like, no, this is just a different opinion. I've gone to the same school as you. I've read the same shit as you. I just took it this way.
I think like 99% of people are broadly centrist anyway. Like they've got some conservative, some liberal, some, some authoritarian, some libertarian. No one is like pure ideology, incarnate. Everyone's got bits and pieces from all sides. It's just a question of to what extent.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think being a centrist is too concerning. I think everyone is to some degree.
It does allow me a little bit more openness to it. It's because he has both views that I can understand when he is reading something from a liberal point of view. Just because I find that my friends who are liberals, like I still have some, I still talk to a few, but others I find are really more pitching something than necessarily explaining something. And there's a difference between the two. And I don't take to that kind of stuff. It's literally that kind of stuff from, and I'm not pointing fingers at all religious people, just specific ones in my area. That was the pitch that used to pull me away from religion. And it's,
you mentioning that you still have liberal friends reminds me of one of my friends from like 20 years ago found me on Twitter and was like, "Oh, you stream? Send me the link. I want to watch." It's like, okay.
No,
so I sent them a link to the corner, and they never spoke to me again.
My next door neighbor in Virginia, her daughter lives in Pennsylvania, not far from where my brother lives, and we were talking, and she was expounding how proud she was that her daughter voted for Fetterman.
Right.
I hadn't bitten my tongue so hard.
Oh, man.
I was like, I want to scream. But no, it's the only way I can continue to claim that I'm a centrist is that I can still talk to liberals. I think if I get to the point where I just don't want to hear you anymore, well, all right, now I'm conservative. Fuck.
I think I'll talk to anyone. I just roll my eyes.
Claudia keeps me in that same field too. I can still talk to her. I feel if I can maintain a relationship with her, then I do lean right, but I can still call myself a centrist and not be too hypocritical about it. I do. There's some things I do agree with on that part of this. I do really agree with Social Security. It is a social program. It's a socialist program, taking from everyone else and giving to those who need it. It's very libertarian. It's very much libertarian. So, if I believe firmly in that, most true conservatives don't. I mean, they look at Ben when he talks. Ben Shapiro, he'll say, "You should be leaning on your church. You should be leaning on your community and not going to the federal government." I'm like, no.
Right.
I think this is a situation where you've been paying this all your life. It is an established thing. It's been there forever. People are benefiting from it. Things aren't broke. It works. It's not great for people who are retired or getting old, whatever, but it is there. There is something. I don't see a problem with it.
I mean, I think there's certain things the government should fund. I mean, obviously the quality is not great, but I think public health is something that the government should provide. I mean, if you shouldn't die just because you can't afford like I said, it won't be great medical treatment. You get what you pay for, and if it's provided by the state, it's going to be long waiting times and poor quality. But there should be something.
Well, for America, there kind of is, because even if you can't pay for it, they still have to treat you. If you come in with an arm off and it's bleeding, they have to fix you. They can't say, no, you'll just have to die here.
No, but that's my thing. There should be, I'm saying that's a good thing. There should be something in place so that you won't die on the street because you can't afford stitches to prevent you from bleeding to death.
Right.
I think the government should step in cases of emergencies and stuff and say, no, it doesn't matter that he's homeless and he can't pay. You still need to take him in and sew him up or give him the pill so his heart doesn't.
But even the places that have that free medical care, it's not that it's not great. It's just getting it. If you got
hello, nurse.
I should probably shut up and let Jen talk at this point.
Oh yeah.
To be honest, I have no idea where they're going to go with that. I don't know if that was a one-off because they keep making hints about stuff that they'd like to do. but that they can't really do yet. And then you find stories like hers, and you're like wondering if they aren't already implementing it, because they haven't really legalized it yet. Like they've hinted about it, but it none of that is finalized. Like there's certain situations where you might get away with it, but like not with hers. Like that's stuff where you're like, okay, I've gotten to the point where the disease that's eating my brain has left me so immobile that I can't even ask you for mercy. And that's something you have in a will when written that you've disclosed with lawyers long before you get to that point.
Mm.
I don't even think we even have that, but they're starting with stuff like that, and I'm like, we already have a mental health problem up here. I'm like, you're gonna have like, screw the shit that they're arguing about with the trans community. That shit's horrible enough. They're gonna go after everybody, trans, suicidal, everybody. You're all fucked. Have fun. I don't know what they're doing with that, but our this is free healthcare. This is free healthcare where I don't know where they're taking their orders from, but it's certainly not from the old school liberals that I used to know. Once upon a time, they could have convinced me to vote for them, but these guys are sociopathic, crazy people.
Did I send you guys that tweet about what was it? It was how somebody deals with a cut on their foot. Did I send you that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that, Jen? It was a meme about how the different countries. I think I sent it specifically to, or
I saw it. Yeah,
I sent it specifically to you guys. And that was
actually
so
have
true. Oh my god, that was so true.
I actually have a funny story about that. So I know a lady on Twitter from Saskatchewan, and she reposted that on her Facebook.
Mhm.
And one, she got a timeout for it, and two, she got redirected to a preventative suicidal hotline. I was like, that's ironic.
Real quick, we have new people in chat. Opinionated Scotsman, welcome, and Frosted Glass, hello, sir. The tweet that we're talking about, the meme that we're talking about, is a stick figure meme. Guy says he's got a cut on his arm or something like that.
It'll need stitches.
Yeah, he needs stitches. He goes to the American hospital, and they said, we can do that for you right now. It'll be $58,000. And he goes to, what was the one for British? Because it applied to Australia too.
38 months.
Yeah.
That was for it was 38 months. It's going to take forever because free healthcare takes forever. Yeah. And then he goes to Canada, and they said, yeah, we'll help you die. It's terrible.
Well, I think
funny but terrible.
I think public health should be provided. I don't think it should be the only health services provided. I think there should be private options. If you're willing to pay for better quality, you should absolutely be allowed to. I just think there should be like some basic safety net for people who can't afford that.
Yeah, I agree with that too. We have the similar problem in that, like, yeah, we have some free healthcare. It is free, but at the same time, though, the level of taxes that we pay for it and the quality of what we get is not the same thing. And you know that if you were to split it up, we'd have a lot less people going to the US just to pay exorbitant amounts of money just to up the list for things that they would probably wait 2 or 3 years for.
Well, that was what Lauren Chen did when her father was sick.
Yeah, her father had
and so she
cancer or
was
something.
like on a waiting list for years, and she said, "Fuck it, I'm going to America and paying to get it done now," because she had the money and she didn't want her dad to die.
Well, she ran a GoFundMe. Yes, Keyradam, I am having a burger. Sorry for the mouth sounds. I'll try to avoid that. But yeah, her father had some kind of like liver or kidney cancer or something like that. And she started a GoFundMe, raised the funds, and brought him down to the States, and they treated him in like 3 weeks instead of making him wait for like 8 months.
I thought it was actually years. I thought it was like 2 or 3 years.
Was it?
But
it may be.
I can't remember, but it's usually a very long time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So that was the old way now. Now the new way is, well, you got cancer, or just kill yourself.
Yeah. I love that Canada's health policy is based on a Filthy Frank song. That still cracks me up.
Canada's a meme. We
It
have
is.
been for a while. You know, Australia might be an imaginary country, but Canada's a meme country.
Well, as South Park said, they're not even a real country anyway. So
Yeah. Sorry for the ASMR. I haven't eaten since yesterday, and I
Mhm.
called to have my food delivered, and they said that it would take an hour and a half to show up after I ordered. They told me that. So usually it would be before the stream, but it got here 10 minutes after the stream started, and I'm starving, so I'm going to try to keep from chewing into the microphone as much as I can. Yeah, Canada kind of has gotten really scary, man. You're not allowed to have any
yeah,
guns, and taxes are out of this world, and now they're telling you, well, if you're sick, just kill yourself. Man, I don't know about Canada. I mean, it's not like the U.S. doesn't have its problems. You guys seen how they lit up the White House? They lit the White House as a pride flag.
oh god,
Yeah, because they passed a law that said gay people can get married. Of course, we already had a law that said people can get married, but they passed a new one that says the same thing, so they can take credit for it and
right.
light the White House as a gay pride flag.
Rainbow.
Yeah, rainbow. Stupid stuff.
I did see a funny thing where someone was complaining that Mario Kart went woke because they had a picture of like a rainbow pattern on the stage, and every Mario Kart fan is like, "Dude, that's Rainbow Road. That's been in there since the '90s. What the fuck are you talking about, you idiot?" It's like
Wow.
sometimes a rainbow is just a rainbow. It's not a pride thing. I just thought it was funny.
Hmm. Speaking of, I don't know, Canada,
Hmm.
C-11 is on the books, or is going to be on. It's
Yeah.
going to be on the books. It used to be C-10, now it's C-11 because they
You
made some
sunk my
changes to it.
battleship.
It didn't make it. I'm trying to run a show here, man. Come on. C-11 is a Canadian censorship bill. Do you guys do the same thing with bills and laws? Do you do the same kind of thing where you introduce something as a bill and if everyone agrees it becomes a law? And I'm
It has to be
only a
passed,
bill,
but yes.
'cause I'm
Yeah.
only a bill. And I'm
Like it
sitting
hasn't
here
it
on
hasn't been passed
Capitol
yet,
Hill.
but it's getting terrifying because like the gun bill, they keep making amendments to it and it's making it worse. That's yeah.
So what do you know about C-11? Tell me about it.
So it's going to limit our capacity to view content outside of Canada. If you don't have content that would connect with Canadians, like Canadian content, I won't be able to view your shit, or I'll have to
Brought
use
to you by ExpressVPN.
basically. And it forces Canadians to do it too, because it means I'm limited to viewing your content. So not only will you have a harder time finding mine, I'll have a harder time finding yours. I mean, I don't mind putting out for a VIPN, but I don't know how far that's going to extend to, because they could take it that far. They look like they want to go full China with us, and this is why my Alberta has gone sovereignty with them. Feds have gone overboard, and some of the provincial are kissing up to them and letting them go along with it. I don't think everyone's willing to go along with it. I really don't know. But I'm just so surprised that so many liberals are okay with it, because they're going to be silenced too. It doesn't just affect me. They think it's going to affect me. They think this is there are some idiots who don't understand that this has been going on since he got elected. The first time, not the third time. The first time. They think that this has something to do with Twitter and kicking conservatives off of Twitter or some stupid shit like that. It has nothing to do with Twitter. Twitter's just a website where people go on to larf. It's a laugh. It's a joke. Yes, maybe you have a conversation, and certainly it's a fun place to do that. but it's not. It's not gonna be good for us.
This is also going to generate money too, right? They're going to make you pay. Did I read something about the fact that companies like Netflix and stuff like that will have to pay money so they can still stay available to Canadian networks?
Yeah. Yep. Google and I'm surprised those networks haven't freaked out, but Google has been putting out stuff for a while. And I'm surprised, like YouTube even did a little short run. And it's just I don't know what to think, because his team, there's nothing he can't do that he can't get away with, that they don't cheer on the entire time. And I don't understand. They hate conservatives so much that they will cut their own nose off their own face. They will gut themselves just to own the conservatives. And now they're going to cut out their own tongue, and they're cutting mine out too. Maybe. I don't know what's going to happen down the line, but I do know that what you saw last February might end up being worse this year. If he keeps going that route, I could see it being more than just truckers.
Well, speaking of VPNs, I still haven't settled on a VPN yet. There's a couple of good ones out there, like ExpressVPN. I mean, if you've watched Ben Shapiro, you know about and if you've watched Jeremy, you know about what was the one he
Virtual
does?
Shield.
Jeremy has one that he
Virtual Shield and NordVPN and
NordVPN
what else
is NordVPN is usually Philly D. You know, I think
I'm just going through the ones I've seen. I know there's
Yeah.
Virtual Shield was Bearings one for a
right.
long time.
It's Private Internet Access is the one for Jeremy.
And
I used to use
there's a few out there. So
yeah, I haven't decided what I'm going to do, because I need to have a VPN. So I don't really actually run it on my machine. I run it on my server. But I need to have a VPN, because I used to be on Pure VPN, and they were okay, but they didn't really protect me very well, and they weren't particularly fast. Although it was recommended from Polly. He was the one who told me about it. So of course it was shit. So I've got to go with somebody else. The problem I'm having with VPNs is there's a couple out there that are available that I could probably go with, but none of them have a phone number. None of them have, hello, I'm having problems. Nobody has that. No VPN seems to have any kind of live customer service. And I don't really like that in
you
a
got to
company.
email them instead or something.
Well, sometimes they have a chat bot online that you can chat with, but I want to talk to somebody and ask them specific questions about how their service runs, what the service provides, and their website doesn't answer my questions. So I want to talk to somebody, you know, and the ones that I want to talk to, they don't really have any features. One of them had a chat. I think ExpressVPN has a chat bot, but it was I connected to the chat bot and said, and it came up and it said, the person who's going to be answering your questions will talk to you shortly. And then like 5 minutes later, it came back and said, the person you want to talk to will be with you shortly. And after about 3 of those, I was just like, fuck this. And I closed out. So imagine if I was having a problem and I ran into that.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So I was like, so I do want a new VPN, but I got to find somebody who's reliable.
I do think it's interesting. It was Express VPN that had you waiting around doing nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't very Express.
Like it wasn't Express at all.
Yeah, so maybe just they had some kind of catastrophe they were working on, and I just happened to hit them at the wrong time. But everybody has that kind of thing. You run into stuff like that all the time. So, but I never pursued it. I ran into other issues that took more of my time, so I put that in the back burner. Like I had an electrical. I think I mentioned this last week. I had an electrical problem with my studio, and they did a quick fix and got everything running again. But I wanted to get an idea of how much it would be to to fix the electricity in these back rooms correctly. Right now, one circuit runs 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. One circuit does that. That's not right. I understand when they built the house, they were trying to save money, but that's wrong. Especially since my studio has a lot of electrical equipment. I mean, monitors and switches and UPSs and speakers and the PC, and I got a lot of crap in here. And I already have a secondary line into the room specifically to run my air conditioner, to isolate it from everything else, so that when the air conditioner, the compressor kicks on, it doesn't dim the entire room. So I was smart enough to do that, but I want to separate this room from the other rooms, and I want to fix this issue that I'm having. I don't know if Canadian and Australian electrical systems work the same way, but in America you have, at least with the newer stuff, but not so much with the older stuff, is what I have, is you have 3 wires coming to every electrical socket. You have a ground, a neutral, and a hot. This house is older, so each socket has a separate ground running out to a ground wire. So every wire coming in is actually just 2. The wires coming into the socket are neutral and hot. Well, something happened somewhere along the way, and there is power on the neutral side of the power coming into these back bedrooms. Now,
you ain't seen the film in Taylor. More power.
So I rewired it. No, but that's actually what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to have them come in and track down what's causing this problem and rewire the 3 back bedrooms. But in the same space, I want them to isolate this room from the other 2 rooms, so that if somebody is in the other room and they, put on a space heater or something like that, it doesn't pop the fuse, and I'm running downstairs into the fuse box so I can get the stream back online. I want to get into that kind of situation, so I want to separate this room from the other 2 rooms. It's a modest-sized bathroom and a big bedroom, and there's, because it's just me and my girlfriend, we don't use that bedroom anymore. That used to be my mom's room, so it's not like I have to worry about it. But the fact that there's power on neutral is not safe, and I understand they kind of got around it, and I understand the patch they did to make it work, but I don't really think that's particularly the right way to go about doing it either. So I'm going to get an estimate. So anyway, I called them to have them come in and do this, and the girl said, "Okay, well, I'll take care of it." And if you remember the last time I had power problems, they were here the next morning to fix it, and didn't tell me. They just showed up at 8 a.m.
Yeah, that's right. I do remember now.
Yeah, so I thought, okay, well, I'm going to get a call the next day. This was on a Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday go by. And then this whole week has gone by. So it's now 2 weeks Friday, or 2 weeks Wednesday. So I called her back today. I said, yeah, I called you guys last week. She says, yeah, there was an emergency with the owner of the company, his house in Montana. He had the entire crew flown to Montana to
Jesus.
fix a wiring problem in his house. He says, they'll be back next week. Okay, well, I guess I'll talk to you guys next week. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure why I got off on that tangent about the electricity issues at my
It
house.
doesn't matter.
But,
It's all fun.
so, yeah, so I have to save up some money to get all that stuff fixed. But everything works well enough now. The stream is stable. I guess you guys have noticed it's been perfect all night tonight. I should knock on some wood.
Sorry, a car just drove past and I didn't hear a word you said.
I just said that the stream has been stable tonight.
Right.
So
yeah.
I don't know what happened last week. That wasn't my fault. I sound like Han Solo. Not my fault. Not my fault. Anyway, so we have. Go ahead, Terry.
No, I was just gonna say I did see a fight from like 5 years ago with your friend Claudia and Dr. Random McCann, and it's I can't believe it, but I'm on Claudia's side on this one.
Sometimes she's got the right perspective. Sometimes it's a little skewed.
No, she does. She did in this one.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little skewed how she gets there, but if she agrees with you in the end, that's a win.
Well, what it was Random McCann did a video where he was basically he went to Ranting Feminist's channel but didn't do a reply to any specific video. He just complained about the titles of the videos and just kind of assumed what was in them. And I was like on Claudia's like, no, that's a shitty thing to do. You should have at least watched them before you replied to them. So, but it turned into this massive fight because obviously Random McCam, his whole audience was piling in on Claudia in the comments, and she was like, no, fuck you. This is like, this is a shitty thing to do. I don't know why you're defending this. If there was anyone else, if I wasn't a feminist, you'd be fully aware of what a shitty thing this is. You're just, too ideal. No, I hate to admit it, but she's right.
There's a few people online that I don't need to worry about, and Claudia's one of them. If you dogpile her, she don't give a shit. You're not gonna.
Oh yeah,
she's got the thickest
she was holding
skin.
her own.
Yeah, of course.
She was holding her own perfectly well.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I was on her side. Of like, oh man, this is a rarity. She's actually 100% right.
Yeah. Speaking of online issues, been watching Kiva Dam. Have you been watching Kiva Dam's feed? Do you follow her? Either of you? Both of you?
On Twitter or YouTube?
Twitter.
Oh, Twitter, yeah. Because on YouTube, I've only ever seen her do the birthday songs and like very occasionally streams.
Yeah. She's been fighting with this guy. Kiva Dam, if you can post his name, I forgot his name. But they've been talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse issue. And you got one of these.
It's been for like a week.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
If you it's one of these lefties that doesn't understand how America works. I don't even know if they're in America or not. If they're, maybe they could be British or something. I don't know, but
I don't know.
They're very insistent that Kyle Rittenhouse is bad, and everything he does is bad, and everything he says is bad, and he's just bad. And Kiva Dam is sword fighting really well, with facts and backing everything up, and he just, I don't know if it's a he or she. Blue Man, that's right. And he's just, no matter, she's coming in with facts and proof. This is here, this is how this works, this is the law, blah, 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 blah. She's just nailing him on everything, and he just won't see it. It's clear. It's evidence, it's fact-based. She's got her argument set well with this guy, and he just, no matter what proof is drawn, oh, that came from a bad source. He tries to find a way to nullify every argument she has, and it's clear that she's right. I mean, we all know what happened. This has been going on for years now. We know what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse. We know that he was found not guilty. He wasn't found innocent. He was found not guilty because courts don't find you innocent. They find you either guilty or not guilty.
Blue Man 777 is the name.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. So I've been wanting to jump in on the conversation because it's I don't know how your whole. I'm frustrated just watching the arguments go back and forth. I want to get in there and just go right after him and just rip him an asshole. But I've been like, yeah, keep her damn. She can handle it. She don't need me to tell her where the bear sits.
I just went to this guy's Twitter profile, and you go unfiltered political debate, free speech for all, anti-censorship, anti-MAGA. Elon Musk isn't really for free speech, evidenced by my follower count. So the fact that no one wants to follow this idiot is Elon Musk's fault.
He must be like 15 or something.
I guess so.
But yeah, obviously you can look at that bio and tell where his political leanings are. So, but yeah, it's been if you're not following Kiva Dam, you really should, because it's I don't know how you hold yourself back. I'd be just all over this guy. There's a certain point where if you're just going to be a dick about it, I'm just gonna rail into you. I can't, if you can see eye to eye to me and agree with some things and look rationally, and maybe when we don't come to a consensus, that's okay. I have no problems. But if you're just going to be dismissive of everything I say, even though it's clearly are facts that I'm presenting you, then I'm going to be brutal with you. You're just being a dick to be a dick. So it's just going to have to be that way. So anyway, I'm enjoying it. I hope you find a way to win with him, Hiradam, but
I don't think she will. I
I
think
don't.
he's just.
I don't think anybody could.
I think he's beyond reaching, but it does. I mean, it is good for the outside observer to see that one side is providing facts and arguments, and the other side is
Yeah.
So I mean,
hear no evil, see no evil.
It's good that she's doing what she's doing.
Yeah, it's a chimpanzee's kind of thing, you know. No matter what you present, my ears are closed, my eyes are closed, my mouth's closed, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've all run into that on Twitter at one time or another. You run into somebody who just will not stop, you know, and they have to get the last word. They're just trolls. That's for me. That's my definition of a troll. If they're just trying to keep you engaged, so you keep responding to them, and they keep responding back, and they say things intended to make you angry. And respond again, that's a troll. They're not really interested in the conversation. They just want to wind you up, you know.
Yeah.
So I would have lost it a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, do you want to cover Nancy Mace?
I don't know what the story is there.
That was the I mentioned it earlier at the beginning of the show. It's a senator or representative or something like that who was talking to people who were at Twitter about. You saw the videos all over Twitter about how talking on Twitter and saying things on Twitter could lead to violence.
Oh, one of those idiots.
Yeah, and she was going. They had like 7 people in front of her, and she's asking each one. They're all saying yes, yes, yes. Speech can be bad, blah 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 blah, and speech, you know, speech that incites can be bad. And she picks up this Alejandra Carballo.
Yeah.
And she says, yes, if you say things on their speech that can be bad. So she has this big 3-foot by 5-foot cue card behind her showing a tweet from this Carballo chick inciting violence.
Yeah.
And she nailed her with it. And I
do remember that. Yeah.
I don't want to play it on the show because I want time to go by so everything that we have on our account subsides and the account's pristine again, and then I'll worry about doing that kind of stuff. But
that makes sense.
I mean, other people are doing it, but you know what happens is they'll all do it and get away with it. I'll do it and we'll get hit.
No, if you want us to play it, go subscribe to our Rumble account. As soon as we get to 100 subscribers, we'll be able to stream on Rumble, and you'll be able to see us play that clip.
Day stream.
Go do that for us now.
Yeah, our Rumble goal has increased from last week. We went from 30 to 34. So we're officially past a third.
I think James Colley said he joined today, so it might even be 35.
Awesome. Guys, roll yourself an account, join, and never log in again if you don't want to. We're just trying to get the number up.
Even better. We have 36 at the moment.
Oh,
yep.
I am going to go right ahead and Rumble goal.
I'll put the link in chat in case anyone would like to subscribe.
And I've updated number live. Rumble goal 36 of 100. So we're past a third of the way there. If we can get to 100, we still haven't talked about what we should do if we get to 100. Whether if we should just stream a duplicate of the show over Rumble at the same time, like multicast, or if we should do part of the stream here and part of the stream there, or move the whole stream over. We still haven't talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, we can figure that out. But I think I think just sort of double streaming, like stream here and Rumble at the same time, is probably my preference. But
that's a good start. That's a good start. I mean, that's something we could do right away.
Yeah, you could even do what Gunsky is doing and upload the old streams onto Rumble, so that, like, if someone passes by the Minions Rumble, they're not going to subscribe because there's no content on it. So if you like uploaded previous streams, then they go, oh no, actually these guys are pretty good. I'm gonna subscribe and hopefully see the next upload.
Okay, I just read in chat the original Shroom, who I just call Shroom, says I need some help with my Rumble also, please. So I am signed on. I'm going to sign on to Rumble right now while we're talking. Rumble, it's probably going to screw up the stream. RUMB, rumble.com. Shroom, what is your channel name? Is it the original Shroom?
Yeah,
And
Shroom,
I
just put a
will,
link to your Rumble in the chat, and we'll
and I will
check it out.
subscribe. I will personally, the One-Ton Hammer, I will personally subscribe to your channel live right here, right now. Yeah, you can put a link in chat or just give me the. If you go into Rumble, it'll have next to the Rumble logo to the right, it'll have video, the drop down box. If you click on it, you have channels, and you can search for someone's channel right there.
Right. And remember, at 40 Rumble subscribers, Adam will take a picture of his feet, and at 50, he'll delete it. So make sure you all subscribe and spare yourself from having to see that picture.
All right, I'm going to search on the ORIGINALSHROO. Oh, the original Shroom is the channel name. He has 10 subscribers. And one of those 10 subscribers is me already. I've already subscribed to him, so I cannot subscribe to you, sir, because I'm already subscribed to you.
Mm-hmm. Oh well. The channels. I'll just search for Shroom. See if I've subbed.
But everybody who has a Rumble account, go ahead and jump out there and give Shroom a follow because he wants to get his channel rocking and rolling.
I just raised his sub count by 10%. So,
Jen, do you even have a Rumble account?
I do. I have no one though. Oh, got that.
You gonna subscribe to Shroom?
I will try to. Let me.
I'll put Shroom's link in chat as well, so if people would like to subscribe, they can.
There you go. So go ahead and sign on to Rumble. Click on that link, and the subscribe button is on the right-hand side.
Just because she mentioned it in chat, I'll see if I can find Keevan and I'll. It's this one.
We should
There's
all
two
have.
Keevan. I'll go with the one that has her avatar.
We should all have a presence on alternate media. Minions has a Rumble channel, Odyssey. Minions is everywhere.
Shroom, you don't have a wrench, so when you posted the link, it didn't go through. So
why doesn't
I'll
Shroom
find
have a link?
I'll find the other Shroom account and I'll.
Why doesn't Shroom have a wrench?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to fix that. Shroom gets a wrench.
Well, Shroom has 51 by the looks of it, so subscribe to that.
Shroom is now a moderator for your channel.
Yeah.
Shroom's been a long time follower. I don't understand why he didn't have a
I don't know the politics of who gets wrenches and who doesn't. So I can't give him out.
The official rule is people I like.
There you go. And yes, Frosted has a Rumble account purely to watch old Clipper streams. And if his word is anything to go by, he just fast forwards to his answers.
Well, gang, it's 10:05. Do you guys want to?
I'm fine either way. I've got nothing I particularly need to discuss. But
Oh, I have something
if,
actually to ask the two of you. Are either of you available on Friday? I know
I've
you're
got the corner.
probably you got the corner, right?
Yeah.
I wish I could say yes, but I really can't because I have to work the next day,
Okay, that's fine.
and that's
The reason I'm asking is because,
Sanguine?
yeah, I was about to say that Sanguine can't run the show on Friday. So we were looking for people who wanted to take over the show for Friday. I said I would, in Discord, I said I would talk to the two of you first to see if you were available. That you probably weren't, Terry, but if I could have got Jen and somebody else, we could have done a 3-man show, and I could have updated OBS for one show and been okay. But if you're both out, then I'm going to have to tell Sanguine that I personally can't cover. Someone else is going to have to. Or if we can't get somebody to cover, we just have to not do a show that night. I hate to see that happen, but we have to make it a point to start recruiting again.
you know, it'd be cool.
What?
And maybe something we could do just in case we have a night where, you know, we can't show up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just have somebody do like a clip of like all our best moments on the Minions, and just for, you know, like an hour, play that.
If worse comes to worse, I could just fire up a copy of Heroes of the Storm and then do a 1-hour stream of games.
But what you want is what you want is a 1-hour loop of "Don't you forget about me."
Yeah. Or maybe what's the Harry? Is it Harry Connick Jr.? No, it's not Harry Connick Jr. What's the one that everyone always gets rickrolled? What's the name of that song?
Oh, Never Gonna Give You Up.
Never Gonna Give You Up. Yeah. Of course, that would get us banned pretty quick, but they're really touchy about that. You can't play more than like 6 seconds of it, or they'll be on your ass.
Yeah, I mean, whichever music studio owns the song,
yeah, they're really hot on it.
The copyright.
Yeah, it was such a meme. It's just a shame that the meme is now basically gone because now all you can do is actually get rickrolled. Have you ever seen the?
No, but you can still link to the original.
Yeah.
Song.
Yeah.
But like you can rickroll by tricking people into clicking on a link that takes them to that YouTube video.
Right.
You just can't put your own YouTube video up that contains the song.
Yeah,
or
but
more than like
you couldn't live stream it either. If I were just right now get rickrolled live, I'd have to no, turn it off real quick because then we get hit. But yeah, they're very touchy about that song.
That's all music studios. That's not specific to Rick Astley.
Well, we get away with all the songs on our show. I mean, the entry song is my song. I own that song. But the outgoing songs that we do, like Sledgehammer and stuff like that, the only reason we get away with that is because I talk over top of them. If I just played it, we'd be screwed. So,
but also because it's an instrumental version helps.
Yeah. It helps. Well, it allows me to talk and not have to be talking over someone else's singing.
I get why you do it, but I'm just saying the fact that it's instrumental and not the original song in its original form also helps because, you know, it's looking for a particular thing in the algorithm to detect the copyright.
We still get like notifications. We still get claims and stuff like that, even for the ones that don't have any vocals, because I don't get karaoke versions. I get the original artist's one without singing, so it's actually exactly the same song without the lyrics. I guess if you get like a karaoke version where someone remade it, you could probably get away with a lot more, because
for sure,
you know, that's just someone else performing. There's a guy that does a version of what the hell's her name? Lady Gaga. He does a version of Lady Gaga songs where he finds out all the equipment that was done to make the song originally and gets all the equipment and rents it all for a period of time. And he redoes the song but with him playing the drums.
Oh, okay.
It's
Pretty
like
crazy.
it's like listening to exactly the same song. There's no vocals, of course, but it's like listening to her version of the song without lyrics, and then him overdoing the drums. But the original drums are not there. Only his drums are there.
Right.
So it's like it is her song, but with a different
But it's
drummer and no
transformative at
vocals.
that
It is,
point.
yeah, it is, it is. But they're very touchy about it too. You can't use it. If you try to
okay.
use it, they'll get
Well,
you just as well. But
one thing we could try, just play the Frog Leap Studios version of every song.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
get
I
him
didn't
to
know
do it.
anybody else besides me knew about Frog Leg.
Oh, Frog Leap is amazing.
It is.
Anyone
He's
who
an
likes-
amazing guy. It's a shame he got
anyone
divorced.
who likes, I didn't know that, but anyone who likes metal, he does metal versions of pop songs and rap songs and anything he gets asked to do, really.
Yeah,
and
he
they're
does,
all
like,
amazing.
metal versions of like Taylor Swift. It's like
Yeah.
like
He did a cover of Wet Ass Pussy. He did.
he did a cover of oh crap! It was just on the tip of my tongue. Feel Good by the Gorillaz.
Yeah, he did Africa by Toto. He
Yeah,
did
remember
Something
it was really good too. Africa was really
Yeah.
really good. I really got a kick out of that.
No, he's a very, very talented
He's
musician.
talented. He plays everything.
He does. So go check him out if you
Yeah.
haven't already. He's very impressive.
I like his logo, the little frog.
Hmm.
Little logo.
I don't know if he
Cute.
still does it because I haven't watched in a while, but he used to sing his shill, like to get like he's basically saying like I've got CDs you can buy and you can subscribe to my Patreon, and he sings that, and it's like a different song every video. It's not like
Wow.
a stock outro. He re-records his shill in a different style every goddamn video. He's just I don't know how he does it. He's amazing.
My brother turned me on to him, and metal is not my thing. I'm subscribed to him, and I'll check out a video every once in a while. He's not my favorite performer on YouTube as far as a musical artist is concerned. Like, not like a big name musical artist, but somebody who does like their own thing. There's a drummer. Her name is Sina, Sina, like from the Netherlands or something like that. Barely speaks English, but she does her own music, but she also covers music, and her ability to cover a song, it's hard to put it into words how to explain why it's so good. She's 100% technically perfect. She doesn't hit a drum in a part where that drum wasn't hit by the original artist, and she's never off tempo. She's perfectly on tempo, hits every cymbal, every hi-hat, every tom, exactly like it was done in the original song, perfectly. It's almost like, God, how can a human being, you think it would need to be a computer to be able to match what was done originally with a lot of programming and AI and stuff like that, but she is just perfectly perfect. And she's only like 17 or 18 years old. It's amazing.
Jeez.
She's an amazing drummer.
Yeah, sounds
and she even explains, she has videos that explain how other drummers drum and what makes them distinctive from other drummers. Like she was the one that pointed out that Ringo Starr was left-handed but played a right-handed kit, which made him unique in the way he played compared to all the other drummers, and the reason why she liked him so much. Who knew that? Only other professional drummers would know that kind of information, you know?
Right.
So it was just,
I mean, it's tangential, but my favorite quote about Ringo Starr was someone asked John Lennon if he was the best drummer in the world, and John said he's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
well, the funny thing is, the Beatles were nobody until Starr joined the group. As soon as he joined the group, they took off.
Yeah, no, I mean, Ringo Starr is actually a talented drummer. I just thought it was a really funny quote.
And he probably the most relaxed of all the Beatles too. Yeah, dude's like totally cool.
Plus, he narrated Thomas the Tank Engine. No other Beatle did that.
Well, anyway, now that we're done shilling everybody else, we should probably get out of here. Yeah, if we have a few minutes after the show tonight, we could talk a little bit more about Rumble and our plans.
Sure.
Because we were supposed to do that last week, but I was dead to the world. So right. Get out of here. Let's see. Yeah, let's get to the regular stuff here. Thanks everybody, as always, for chatting with us tonight. Remember, we're trying to get our Rumble channel up and running, so if you have an account on Rumble, go ahead and give us a follow. Eventually we'll live stream there as well, and you'll be helping out the menus and making us grow. As for YouTube, we can't wait for the next Wednesday's show. Remember, the menus are live every evening, including weekends, with most shows starting around 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 7 days a week. Host and start times are linked in the description, along with the Rumble channel down below. We will be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. as usual. I hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye, guys.